This program contains dramatic reenactments and material that may be disturbing to some audience members. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ten prostitutes had been murdered in America and Austria. The police were convinced that the same killer was responsible, an Austrian journalist who had spent time in Los Angeles. Jack Unterweger had no alibi. He had been in Vorarlberg, Graz, and Vienna when each of the prostitutes had gone missing. But the lack of alibi was circumstantial evidence. It didn't prove he was the killer. There was nothing to connect him to a victim. Only one piece of forensic evidence had been found: the red fibers on Heidi Hammerer, the first prostitute strangled in Vorarlberg. Did Unterweger own anything that matched those fibers? There was just one possibility: Unterweger's trademark red scarf. Forensic scientist Walter Bruchweiler's job was to compare the scarf with the fibers found at the crime scene. Under different light wavelengths, Bruchweiler determined that the color of the scarf fibers and the crime scene fibers matched. Then he looked at the physical form of the individual fibers.
We found that Jack Unterweger's scarf was made from the same material as the fibers found on Heidi Hammerer.
But the fact that Unterweger's scarf had touched Hammerer's clothing didn't prove he was her killer.
We cannot say what led to this contact. You cannot say that Jack Unterweger killed Heidi Hammerer just on the basis of transfer of fibers.
We found documents in Unterweger's apartment showing that he had visited Los Angeles and that he had been in contact with the police there.
They found business cards from Los Angeles police officers and a visitor card for police headquarters.
We phoned to LAPD, and there we found out that in Los Angeles the same homicides were committed. We knew from this moment on we had an international serial killer.
But while the Americans had a suspect, like the Austrians, they didn't know where Unterweger was. His girlfriend was the only person who knew where Unterweger was. Bianca Marak had got a job in Switzerland.
Ich habe dort, glaube ich, schon 10 Tage gearbeitet und hat mich besucht.
I think I'd been working there for about 10 days when he visited me and told me everything. He broke down and told me that he was wanted for the murder of 10 prostitutes. He kept saying it wasn't me, it wasn't me. How could they think it was me? I was pretty shocked, but I wanted to believe him at the same time.
An international manhunt quickly traced them to Miami in Florida after they tried to get money sent to them. Jack Unterweger was arrested. The knot was the killer's crime signature. The FBI had shown that the same person killed all 10 victims, but they couldn't say who that person was. If the Austrians could link Unterweger to just one of the murders, they could charge him with all of them. But they still didn't have a piece of evidence that proved his guilt.
We knew that Jack Unterweger hadn't just traveled in Austria. We knew that he'd also been to Germany, to Italy, and to Czechoslovakia. So of course we made inquiries in all those countries as to whether any women or prostitutes had been murdered around that time. And that is how we found out about the murder of Blanka Boczkova in Prague.
The search for evidence intensified.
We established that Unterweger had owned a number of different cars, but that he sold them on. So I said to my men, go on and search for vehicles, even if they've been sold on. Maybe we'll find something.
In April '93, we started to extract human DNA from these hairs.
In the final test using the last of the hair sample, Hochmeister found that the DNA matched just 1 in 2.1 million women. It matched Blanka Botchkova. The result placed Botchkova in Unterweger's car. Once again, it was circumstantial evidence. It didn't prove that he killed her. The police decided to move in. Jack Unterweger was charged with the murder of 11 women in 3 countries.
You do get the sense that he was enjoying it. I think also he understood that my only real chance to get out of this is to use all of my charm, all of my charisma on the jury.
The verdict was returned. Jack Unterweger was found guilty. He was sentenced to life with no chance this time of parole.